What's going on, people? This is Daniel Dominguez, the one and only man of the people. Okay, I'm here to bring truth every day to people's lives to set them free physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Okay, have you ever wondered why you have to work every day? Why do we have to work every day? Has anyone ever thought about that? Has anyone ever thought, why is it that we have to work all the time? Do you ever feel like you're running on a financial hamster wheel? Like you're constantly chasing something, but never getting it. You're constantly chasing fulfillment, but never really attaining it. It's like they're dangling a carrot. You feel that you if you work harder and you continue to push and get yourself more hours at work, get yourself more money, that you will financially be set. You won't have to do anything you don't want to. But every single day, bills get higher, expenses start feeling overwhelming. The kids need something, the wife needs something, the husband needs something, the family needs something, your grandma, your mom, your dad. It seems like you're always running out of money. Have you ever felt that way? The truth is that in America, we are groomed to be consumers. We live in a highly commoditized society. Okay. We are taught to believe that if we get a high income from a job or what have you and accumulate a lot of things, that we have made it. That life that they preach to us, that they show us on every television set, on every song, in the movies, in every picture that our parents taught us about, is to have three kids, a house, and work until you're 65. That we need to have the latest gadgets, the nicest shoes, the best Jordans, the nicest, latest Jordans that came out. We have to have them. We have to have the nicest, latest clothes from Dolce and Gabbana or Gucci. We have to have the newest jewelry, the shiniest bracelets and necklaces with the big diamonds, the newest, latest cars that came out, Mercedes Benz, BMW. But that's all a lie. It's all a lie. They lied to us. They made us think that we had to buy these things to feel like we've made it. But in reality, what they were selling us was financial slavery, being a slave to materials, being a slave to keeping up with perceptions. Instead of keeping up with perceptions, why don't we keep up with our time? Because what we're giving up to try to keep up with the Joneses is our time, which in reality is more valuable than money, than anything really, because that's the one thing we don't get any of. We have a limited amount of time. There is an unlimited amount of money. They say it's limited, but in reality, when you can print, when the banks can print it out of thin air, it's basically unlimited. Yet we have to give our time, our energy, our life for this piece of paper. And for what? To just say that we have the nicest things? To just say that we have the latest and greatest, plastic box? not knowing that we've been giving our life essence to try to acquire this box or this whatever gadget. And when it's all said and done, will it even be worth it? Will you remember that plastic box or that latest gadget or those shoes, or the materials that you bought when you're on your deathbed? Would that even matter? Or will the amount of time you spent with the people that you love, doing what you love, how you love, be more important to you when you're on your deathbed? I would probably say the latter. So why do we feel and are so involved in purchasing these items, these materials? It's because it's a trickle down effect. The economy requires us to spend. It's built for us to spend. It does not work, it does not function if we do not spend. Yet, when we spend unnecessarily, I may add, it just gets us deeper into debt, in many cases, into really financial slavery, into not being able to do what we want with our lives because we spend the money and therefore we have to try to get the money again. And it's a never ending cycle. Hence the financial hamster wheel. You spend money because the government requires you to spend, the economy requires you to spend, society looks greatly upon those who spend. Look at, you know, big ballers, even the word big ballers, right? You're a baller, right? They look at people like athletes, movie stars. Oh, look at the nice cars that they have. Look at this. You're considered to be at the top echelon of human beings in society if you spend. Yet, when you spend, you have to make the money. So you have to work to get the money. And for you to have to work means that you're not necessarily, for many people, 90%, 99% of people, whatever the statistic is, I don't have it in front of me, but whatever the amount of people is, majority of people work jobs they hate. Majority of people do. Why? Because they need money. Why do they need money? Because they spend the money. They spend the money. And look, I get it. I'm not saying don't spend money. I'm not saying that. I'm saying spend it wisely. Spend it intelligently. So that way you can liberate yourself. Because if it was up to society and the world and the rule makers, I guess you can say, they would have you spending everything you have, right? And no one cares. The truth is, no one cares if you spend, but also no one cares if you have also. You see what I'm saying? People would people would rather you spend money than have money. And when I say people, I mean the collective, right? The society or uh, the the programming that we're under is set for us to need to spend. You see what I'm saying? But the truth is that they would rather it would rather have you spend than have money. This is why saving isn't really talked about as much. They mention it. It's mentioned here and there. It kind of goes in one year, out the other, but it doesn't really become. It's not glorified like spending is. And what I'm talking about here is It's not just about spending money or making money or anything. It's a mindset that I'm talking about. This is a psychology. This is an underlying psychology that is on the underbelly of what we live through every day. And most of us don't even notice it. We just go through life not really understanding why we feel the certain ways we feel, why we do the certain things we do. And it's because there's certain programs that are operating without our knowledge. One of those programs is the financial slavery, the financial shackles, or the golden shackles is what they call them, right? Well, you put yourself into slavery by buying materialistic things. They say what you own ends up owning you. That phrase or that analogy is to say that you end up working for materials as opposed to materials working for you. And what materials work for you? What do you mean materials work for you? Well, things that work for you are the following: human beings, aka human capital. That's an asset, right? Real estate, right? Rental properties, right? That's an asset. Stocks, mutual funds, right? Digital currencies, things of that nature. In a form, they are assets, right? So, what am I talking about? Things that work for you or materials that work for you are called assets. That is what that is called. So, you should, instead of looking to buy things that you have to work for, why not buy things that work for you? That should be the real lesson in how we are programmed. But again, if it was that easy and if it was common knowledge, then it probably wouldn't be something that people, would even listen to or even want to do, or it wouldn't be regarded as something that people would consider to be important. See where I'm getting at? It would be, first of all, everybody would maybe be rich. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But if it was common knowledge like that, then it probably wouldn't be something that people would even regard as anything, anything important. So the point of what I'm trying to say here is that what we go through on a daily basis when it comes to finances has a lot to do with psychology. Being rich, having wealth, well, let me take that back. Being wealthy and rich are two separate things. They're not the same thing, okay? Being rich is having money today. This is how I look at it, or how I interpret it to remember. Being rich is having money now, right? Having a lot of money now, right? Day to day. Being wealthy is having a lot of money tomorrow. That's a simple layman's term of wealth and rich, okay? So those are that's kind of how I try to remember it. But there's a difference between those two, okay? Rich means having a lot of money or high income. Wealth means having assets that keep generating money over time, like real estate, businesses, investments, okay? Rich often tied to cash flow right now. Big salary, flashy lifestyle, expensive possessions. Wealth is tied to long-term security and freedom. Rich can be temporary. Someone might be rich today, but broke tomorrow. They overspend or lose their income. A wealthy person, on the other hand, can live modestly, but have financial independence that lasts generations. Okay? That's key. Generations. Simple way to think about it is like this: being rich is having money, being wealthy is having freedom. I'll repeat that. Being rich is having money, being wealthy is having freedom. Very important. So, I want to leave y'all with this. This is something to think about. If you had all the time in the world and you can do anything you want every day and not have to worry about money, what would your life look like? So here's some things to think about. What if the life you've been chasing, the high paying job, the big house, the fancy gadgets, the new car, the fancy clothes and shoes, wasn't freedom at all, but a lifetime subscription to someone else's dream? We were told that consuming is success. But what if true success is creating, owning, and building something that outlives you? If you spend your whole life working to buy things you don't need, are you really living or just keeping the system alive? We trade hours, money, and energy for things that don't matter. But what if the real wealth was in control of your time? We spend our lives chasing comfort and status, yet freedom cannot be bought, only built. Which will you choose? Hopefully, this left you thinking and opened your mind up to different possibilities and different things and the underbelly of what's really going on around you. Stay empowered, stay smart, and stay ahead of the curve. Talk to you soon.